Hey guys, this is the one and only Sonic Ranger back at the reviewing station for another video review of Epic Proportions. That's definitely off the schedule of what I previously was going to review. Having said that, this just arrived and I felt the need to get this out of the way because there's a lot to talk about, some good things and some bad things, unfortunately. So anyway, here is the New York Comic Con 2016 exclusive Power Rangers Legacy movie Red Ranger. So before we take a look at this action figure at hand, let's put him aside for a moment and take a look at the packaging that this figure comes in, as per take of every single video review when I can. So what you got here is your basic Comic-Con exclusive looking packaging with a very nice slick cover to cover up the actual packaging. So let's go through this first of all. What we got here is a nice profile image of the Red Ranger in gray. So no color here except for the lightning bolt. So instead of being green like on the other packaging for the San Diego Comic-Con television series Red Ranger figure, it's red this time. So as you can see, another difference, it says Legacy Collection Movie Red Ranger in nice red foil. I love it. Exclusive power coin. We'll get to that in just a minute. Nothing really on the sides here, so I'm not going to go for that. But we got a nice image of the Red Ranger again. Still in that gray color. No love for any color of the Rangers. But anyway, here's a little brief information about the Legacy line. So there you have that. So let's go ahead and slide this off so we can get to the real packaging of this. And here it is. This is what the actual packaging for the figure consists of. It's a nice profile image of the Red Ranger again, in color this time, with some nice lightning effects going on and sparkly, very sparkly. I love that. That's pretty cool. Exclusive power coin again. Saban's Power Rangers right there, and then down here, Saban's Power Rangers again in the actual 2017 movie logo font. I love it. Legacy Collection Red Ranger. That says movie. Sorry, my bad. In case you wanted to know, ages 15 and up. It's kind of a mixed bag with the Legacy line. Sometimes they're 4 and up, and sometimes they're 15 and up for the exclusives. And on the back here, which I'll raise the camera just a little bit so you can see it all, it has Power Rangers Legacy Figures Series 1 in stores now, each sold separately. We got Red Ranger, Green Ranger, Red Wind Ranger, Blue Wind Ranger, Yellow Wind Ranger, and then we got the Build-A Megazords from this line. Having said that, this is not just Series 1. No. The Dino Megazord, as I mentioned in the previous video, that was news and not an actual review, is going into Wave 3, unfortunately. And we haven't even gotten to Wave 2 just yet. So, tisk tisk. And that's going to do it for the packaging. Let me put that away very carefully. And bring back in the Red Ranger from the movie, the new Jason. And first and foremost, you will notice that there is quite the difference going on here. Proportions on this figure is just about right. So, yeah, he looks good. I'm loving everything about this figure. I do have some nitpicks and some complaints, and we'll get to them very shortly. But for what this figure has to offer in the sculpting, it's fantastic. The helmet is very cool looking. It is not as bland as, unfortunately, the other 4 core Rangers of this movie. That's right, and each Ranger has a copy and paste helmet, but the Red Ranger's is absolutely different because why not? He's the leader. Red is power. Ha! So, very nice work. The paint job on this figure for what it has to offer is very clean work, very crisp. I love it. There doesn't seem to be any smears. Very good job, Bandai. Having said that, though, there's not that much paint love, as there would be some silver going on here for the actual boot portion of this figure, and maybe some silver on the back. It's not there. I don't know why Bandai would cheap out, especially when you have to pay double the retail price for one of these, and the only way to get it is to be an exclusive at New York Comic Con, unfortunately. So why isn't there any more paint on this figure? I don't know. Still, though, not to take that away from the figure, and it is a phenomenal job. And here's a good look at the new Dino Buckler, which is fantastic looking. I love this. This is so awesome. Especially the painted coin. It does look pretty good, especially far away. But, yeah, I mean, the overall detail on this figure is pretty spot on and top notch. This is some good work. And yes, as you can see, because it is an exclusive, that also means it is a clear, translucent red plastic. So it is not a solid color, which means you can actually see my fingers in some areas throughout this figure. And if you put him in the spotlight, which unfortunately I don't have on me because the lamps are over here, and I can't bring them in, you would actually see this figure really pop. It is some nice work. I love it. I love translucent clear figures. They just look good when they're lit up. So anyway, let's get to the articulation on this guy. And this is where I do have to complain. This is not a nitpick. This is more of a complaint, and we'll get to it. Anyway, he does have a swivel head. That's a standard point for most of the Legacy line anyway. A hinge joint at the neck to allow up and down movement, which is pretty good. Ball jointed shoulders, they do go in and out on a nice ratchet, as you can hear it click. So there's that. He does have complete rotation access. No bicep rotation. None. Bandai. No, 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 no. No, there is no excuse. I mean, even the previously released San Diego Comic-Con 2016 Mighty Morphin Red Ranger has bicep joint. This figure does not. I have no idea why that is. I don't see how they couldn't just cut a line here and add bicep rotation, because as I've seen with the upcoming female Rangers of this said Legacy line, they will have included bicep rotation. The male Rangers do not. What is up with that? What is up with that? Anyway, double jointed elbows, as you can see. You can get them up all the way, which is nice. He does have ball jointed wrists, so there's not much to really be said about this because it's just full on access. So there you have that. He does have a nice ab crunch with this much going forward, this much back. Waist rotation is also present. That's always nice. Ball jointed legs with this much going forward. Not much going back at all. It's basically back to your normal stance. He does have full-on splits, something that Marvel Legends Spider-Man can't get right still. I'm just saying. He does have thigh cut to allow complete rotation if you so choose. Double jointed knees, and the feet do have some articulation with a hinge joint to allow up and down movement. And there's the beautiful ankle rocker pivot. So, yeah, you can get a lot of posing out of this guy, but unfortunately, having to say that he doesn't have bicep rotations is going to hurt the actual posing for the upper portion of this figure. So you're not going to really be able to get this figure to hold any of his accessories that he does come with both hands. It's just not going to be possible. There's no way to get him to see. There's just absolutely no way. So unlike the San Diego Comic-Con 2016 Red Ranger, which you can get him to hold his signature power sword with both hands if you wanted to. You just can't do it with this figure. But having said a power sword, he does actually come with an official power sword. Now, I know if you actually go by the actual design of the movie power sword, you can see that it is kind of there. The actual design is present, but it's got this like energy beam going around it. I guess that's to prevent this from actually being very fragile, because it is a very, very floppy mess, unfortunately. But for what it is, it's not too bad. And I know a lot of people thought that this would be like an interchangeable hand thing going on here, like this weapon actually comes out and forms. No, that is not the case. As you can see, there is actually a handle piece here, which what you can do is simply this. You can just plop it into his hand, fits like a glove, and that pretty much gives the effect that it's actually forming off of his hand. So, for what it is, it's pretty cool. Not completely accurate, but the sculpting is there. Just some few tweaks going on here to make it look more powerful, which I can't complain. It does look good. But without bicep rotation, you just really can't do much with this sword, unfortunately. But there's that. Last accessory that this action figure comes with, and the most questionable one out of it all, is, well, if I can get the figure to stand up real quickly, the exclusive power coin, which does look pretty dang good. If you got it in the right position, it looks good. So there it is. It is very digital, as you can see. It's got all the sculpting going on from the actual movie coins. This is very nicely replicated. Maybe not as good as the actual prop coins from the movie, but I really do like the way this looks. I love all the sculpting going on here. Like I said, it looks very digital with all this panel lining stuff going on here. It's just so very interesting. And as you can see, with my hand in the background, you can actually see that the Tyrannosaurus is actually on the inside. It's a very nicely sculpted Tyrannosaurus, not just for the front, but also to the back, as you can see. Very nice. I love the gold for the plastic and the red for the centerpiece. It just looks good. But the one question that everyone's been wondering since this was first announced is it actually capable of working with the Legacy Power Morpher? Because this is a Legacy collection piece. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that question for you guys. And the answer is no. It is not flat. Both sides have a little bit of a standout point, so you're not going to get this to clip into place. Even if you were to close it, it still will not work. See? So there you go, guys. That answers the question. I'm terribly sorry about that, but hey, it is what it is. So, having said that, what is the actual purpose of this coin? And since it is an exclusive, does that mean that we are not going to be getting any more movie coins with the other movie figures to come out of this series? I guess only time will tell. I will be really bummed out if that is the case, because I told you, this is a very, very nice piece. And now you can really see the Tyrannosaurus. This is nice work. You know, this is something that Bandai should really be proud of themselves. Remember back in 1995, we actually had movie figures that were just metallic repaints of the previously released Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures from Bandai America way back when. And they definitely were not movie accurate at all. Today we've got the actual 5-inch figures in that movie form, which is very nice. But this here, this is definitely the topper. This definitely is very accurate, very cool. I love the pearl reflection going on here on the actual suit. It is so amazing. This figure is overall a true masterpiece and something that is definitely going to show off what this line has to offer when it comes to this movie franchise. So anyway, to wrap this up, let's do some quick side-by-side comparisons. And as you can see, well, I might as well get him to hold his sword. Bear with me just one second. So anyway, here we have both Red Rangers, both exclusives, and they both look spectacular. You could even say they look more phenomenal. So, yeah. Anyway, this is a really, really nice figure, and I totally do recommend him if you can actually get him for pretty cheap. And the fact that he doesn't have much paint work on this because of that price, I will say that is a bit of a letdown. The fact that he doesn't have bicep rotation is also very shocking. I cannot believe that's actually a thing. So, you know, take it for what it is. It's not a bad figure. You can get him in a lot of poses. He looks great on display with a lot of figures. And, you know, for some quick side-by-side comparisons with not just Mighty Morphin, let's bring in Thundercats Lion-O from the Classics line. And just because, here's Enchantress from the brand new Doctor Strange Marvel Legends wave. So that's a hint at some upcoming brand new Marvel Legend reviews in the future. And that's going to do it, guys. I've said enough. Go out there and get this figure if you can, but don't pay too much because you will be a little bit disappointed. He does have his problems, and the Power Coin at this point, even though it is a nice piece, for an exclusive, it does absolutely nothing except looks very nice. So, questions, comments, you know what to do. Leave it down below in the comment section of this video. If you liked today's video review, hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, why not hit that subscribe button for more video reviews just like the one you're seeing here today from the reviewing station. This is the one and only Sonic Ranger signing off. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you whenever you see me.